Okay, so this video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about portfolio problems within math units and how they are actually graded. So if you go inside any given math unit and you scroll to the bottom of it, you will see that there are two types of final products. The first one is the end of the unit of assessment, and then you have the portfolio problems. Now, any unit assessments will typically count for about 70% of the overall grade, and portfolio problems, if they account for about 10% of the final grade for the unit. Now, students will usually be exposed to the portfolio problems for the first time, sometime halfway through the unit, and then again at the end of the unit. And they will be given time in class to work on that, but they're also expected to finish that on their own time. Now, students often have choices when it comes to portfolio problems. And in fact, if you click on the portfolio problems and you scroll, you will see that there are usually multiple options that students can pick from. When they are ready to submit, they will either submit so on paper or take a picture of it and put it on the platform by clicking on the portfolio problem submission link. Now, when the portfolio problems are graded, they're graded on a rubric, which can be between 0 and 2 points. Now, 0 points, it happens if the portfolio problem is irrelevant, incorrect, incoherent, has a lot of mistakes. So it might even be possible that response has some correct procedures, but there's so many significant errors that the student did not arrive at an answer that's cohesive. Meanwhile, a 1 represents the student that does show an acceptable response and thorough understanding of mathematical concepts, but they may contain some errors or lack depth. Now, it is possible to score between that, which is a 0.5. A 2 would be going overboard. So these are students that have exemplary responses that demonstrate a deep level of understanding, or students that did additional portfolio problems that weren't required and also show mastery on those. So either more than one portfolio problem at a good level or one excellent portfolio problem. And sometimes teachers will also score a 2 for harder portfolio problems that require a deeper level of understanding in order to be completed successfully. Now, you only need to score a 1 to get credit for the portfolio problem. And so if you score a 2, what you actually do is you make up for one that you did not score well on. It's kind of like extra credit, except it only counts towards the portfolio problem category. So you cannot get over 100% on your portfolio problem category. The maximum of your grade that you can make up of that is 10% of your grade. But getting a 2 is good, because if you get a 2, especially at the start, you make up for future portfolio problems that you have not done well. Or if you do it later, you can make up for some earlier that you haven't done well. Also, the system drops the lowest 2 portfolio problems. So you only really have to do a few of the ones throughout the year. And in fact, let's say, for example, you had 4 portfolio problems in the year. It's usually more than that. But if it was, you could only do a single one and score a 2, make up for a second one you didn't do well on, and then the lowest 2 get dropped. So it's possible to do well with only a quarter of the portfolio problems that you'd have in the year. So that's just to give you an idea of what they're like. And as far as what they're like, there are real life application problems where they're usually kind of fun problems that students have to engage with, and they're usually showcasing the content that students have learned in a unit. So together with unit assessments, they make up the core of the content the demonstration of the development of conceptual skills within a unit. But portfolio problems are scored differently. And in fact, the color of the final product of the unit assessment overrides the color of the portfolio problem. So the unit color usually depends mostly on the unit assessment, more so than the portfolio problem itself, especially since you can drop a few at the end of the year. So I hope you found that clear, and I'll see you on the next video.